the heart and the thick of it right here at All-Star Weekend in Indianapolis. We are here at WNBA Live at the Convention Center. There are fans from all over here. There's so much energy, players, all the things. And guess what? Your favorite little podcast, Good Follow Show, we're here too. And we are taping in front of a live audience for the first time ever at WNBA All-Star with a WNBA legend. We are having 6-time All-Star, 2-time champion, Women's Basketball Hall of Famer, Taj McWilliams-Franklin, join the show. Come on. Hey, Taj.
Hi, Ross.
Welcome to Good Follow Show.
Thank you for having me. Hello, everyone.
Okay, let's talk ring talk. Let's talk championship talk. So, you won a championship in Detroit with the Shock. They're getting a team again. Okay, shout out to Detroit.
Detroit.
And overall, I'm sure you guys know there have been new teams that are announced coming to the WNBA. Portland, Toronto. Oh, you got your Portland. That's some old
That's
school
my girl
Portland
with the Portland Fire.
Wow, that's vintage Portland Fire.
That's original.
Wow.
That's original Portland Fire.
Be careful with that shirt. Don't let somebody... Don't let anybody borrow that shirt. Well, shout out to Portland, Toronto, Cleveland, Detroit, and Philly. So there'll be 18 new teams by 2030. And so, listen, you might have heard some people were not sure about Detroit. So I want to ask you, what is Detroit like as a women's basketball city? What do we need to know about this city and look forward to?
Come on. Detroit is just like the city. At the time, I played for Bill Laimbeer. Gritty, tough. The fans are the same way, just like Philly fans. They're with you. They're fighting for you. They love you. I had a great time. My 2 seasons in Detroit. I got nothing but love for the fans. I got nothing but love for the city because it was amazing. Everywhere I went, they knew about the Shock. And that doesn't happen in every city when I played. But I could go to the mall and someone was like, "You play for the Shock, right? Oh, I love them." And I think that's the embrace of the city. The teams take on that city, no matter what the personality is. And Detroit fans were like that. They were down.
I'm pretty sure that the Detroit, fans in that city is going to put on for the team. So you mentioned Bill Laimbeer. For those of you who don't know, the Detroit Shock won championships in 03, 06, and 2008. They got 3 chips. So when we rank and talk about some of those great WNBA dynasties, and I'll also say franchises that have won more than one championship.
Correct.
So you're talking about your Comets. You're talking about your Detroit Shock. You're talking about your Minnesota Lynx. You're talking about the Seattle Storm. You're talking about your LA Sparks. You're talking about your Aces.
Yes.
How should we regard that Detroit Shock era and talk about their legacy?
Yeah, when you look at that legacy, Deanna Nola, who many of you may not know, Tweety, ahead of her time. A lot of the current guards that you see have very similar game to her. You're talking about Katie Smith, an all-time Hall of Famer, Olympic champion. She could do everything. Like you have Cheryl Ford, Karl Malone's daughter, rebounding machine. Also, you have to speak about the players that were there that just built into that culture. Kara Braxton, that grittiness, Lynette Pearson, Kelly Schumacher, Swin Cash, Ruth Riley. Like those players just, that dynasty, when you match it up to the others, is very similar with less pomp and circumstance because of Bill Laimbeer. You either love him or you hate him, but he got results. And he also built that Aces team. Y'all remember Bill Laimbeer was the architect behind the Aces when they moved from the San Antonio to Las Vegas. So you're talking about someone that knows the game, that builds teams in his image, I will say, and they're just amazing. I rank them up at the top because they were versatile players that could do it all.
So in some ways you would say, like, we don't discuss the Shock enough.
Correct.
Yeah, I think the teams took on like the bad girls, you know what I'm saying, of Detroit, coming from Bill Laimbeer. But to your point with the Aces, I feel that Bill Laimbeer was instrumental in making them a very defensive-minded team, a rebounding team. Obviously, Becky Hammond brought the offensive touch to the Aces. But I also want to talk about your other championship with the Lynx. And that's another great dynasty. Now you're talking about Simone Augustus and Sylvia Fowles and Maya Moore and Lindsay Whalen. Like, how was that dynasty different?
Yeah, you're forgetting Rebekkah Brunson. Rebekkah Brunson has the most rings of any player in the WNBA history, and no one ever speaks about her. She's not in the Hall of Fame women's. She's not Naismith, and if she was a man, she'd be in all of them. So Rebekkah Brunson is someone I'm trying to get into the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame, and I would suggest you all go to the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame website and nominate her, because she has 5 rings. She won 1 with Sacramento. They beat us when I was with Connecticut. And she won 4 with the dynasty of the Lynx. And that's incredible. She is an amazing player in person. And when you look at that team, like I came in, I think the Lynx had been to the playoffs once. It just so happened I came in with one of the greatest women's basketball players, Maya Moore. That was her first year. And look, Cheryl Reeve, who coached under Bill Laimbeer, was at the time building her own team in her image, defensive-minded with an offensive flair. And let me tell you, our players, that's who I hang out with today. Lindsay Whalen, Brunson, those are some of my best friends. Maya Moore, Monica Wright, you forget Candace Wiggins, Sharday Stanford. Yes, Lord. Those players in our minds, we just decided this is how it's going to be. Sylvia Fowles came, I think, the year after I left. So 2 years after I left, Sylvia was like, I'm coming to the Lynx, and then just helped build that dynasty to something incredible. But for me, the Lynx have been basically the barometer of where women's basketball is now. They have just, every odd year, they won a title. So I'm waiting this year to see if they can redeem themselves from last year's loss, and I'm ready to cheer them on.
And you got to give credit to Cheryl Reeve too, because you talked about the players that have come through. That's over the course of different rosters, different eras, transformations of who was the go-to player. You know what I'm saying? Like, it might have been, Simone and them, but then it became Sil, Focus. Now you got Nafisa. And so, like, that coach has done a great job. When you think about the body of work, are you willing to say that maybe it's the Lynx who have been the cream of the crop over the course of WNBA history as far as dynasties and franchises?
I think so. They led the way. I mean, the Lynx had a dedicated practice site before anyone else. Like, they were really at the top when it came to making sure their players were taken care of, making sure their players were loved on, and putting the best product on the floor, even when people didn't think they had the best product. And that's the nod to Cheryl Reeve and her staff. Just seeing something. Like, for me, I was 40, about to turn 41, and she called me and was like, I want you here, a 40-year-old basketball player. I was like, why? And she was like, you're going to shore up my defense. At 40, I was ready to retire. I go there, I win a championship. She signs me for the next year just to help build who was coming next and who was coming after. So she's a visionary in that sense. And for me, they line up with the greatest.
Yeah. Well, I heard people called you kind of Mama Taj, you know? And it's interesting that at the end of your career, towards the end, you were able to realize so much high-level success. We talking about you was playing in the 90s and won championships in the late 2010s and beyond.
Yeah, it's crazy. But she saw something I didn't see, and it worked. Yeah. And I was playing like 34 minutes a game.
Was your body hanging in there?
My body was hanging in there. But she also knows how to do that the right way. Most people don't. Yeah. But like practices, she wasn't beating us down in practice every day. I was swimming. I was doing other things besides the pounding on my knees. Lindsay Whalen was the same. Brunson was the same. Maya towards the end was the same. Simone was the same. It's like I need you in practice, but I don't need you running all day, every day. And I don't think some coaches understand that. When you have a coach that really gets it, you want to play as hard as you can for them. And that's how we felt with Cheryl and still feel.
As we're coming to an end here, I want to talk about my girl, Maya Moore.
Yes.
Who I had the honor of coming up in college playing against in Stanford versus UConn battles. The fiercest competitor I've ever seen in my life. Make some noise for Maya Moore if you're a Maya Moore fan. Absolutely. Do you sometimes wish or think about what if she just was still playing? Like, what do you think would have been possible if she was still playing and what she would have ended up as?
I think for Maya, for me personally, knowing her personally and being around her, I think she ended when she needed to end. She's such a great player. Like, she's transformational in not only her game, but who she is as a person. When you're around her, you change because there is a goodness that is in her that most people don't know about or see. They just see that fierce competitor. Now, that doesn't mean she's soft. That just means she's good. And what you see is really who she is. And so for me, knowing her personally, I know it was the perfect time. I know maybe in her mind, she sometimes thinks of her son, like, if I could play, he could see me, that would be great. Or her husband, who didn't see her play in person. Like, those are thoughts I know she has, but the game, she's left such an indelible mark on the game at the right time in the right moment that I think her ending was just Maya, as we all say, just Maya. So.
Oh, that is a word and a beautiful way to discuss Maya Moore, who has given the game so much.
Yes.
And we're just grateful for it. All right, y'all, we about to end with this. Before I ask Taj, I want to ask you guys, Team Clark or Team Collier? All right, I'm going to go first. Make some noise if you're Team Collier. Okay, wait, I'm going to ask this. Everybody's participating. Make some noise if you're Team Collier. All right. Make some noise if you're Team Clark. Now, I don't know who Taj is going to go with. She was coached by Coach Cheryl Reeve, so I don't know if she's going to be biased. But who you got winning the All-Star game?
Come on, you already said it. Team Clark.
Oh, Team Clark! Okay! I wasn't sure if you were going with the Lynx girls.
I love Steve, but I think she has way too many big players on her side, so Team Clark.
We shall see. But guys, can you just make some noise for Taj McWilliams-Franklin?
Thank you.
As we sit here in such an exciting time for women's basketball, it is so important that we show love and hear from the people who built this from the ground up. Thank you so much, Taj.
Thank you, Roz. Thank y'all.
Thank you. And thanks for being our first live